The absolute Wonder Woman is back. Diana, the Princess of Hell, is facing off against the Herald that seeks to destroy Gateway City. And in this book, she finally comes in contact with the US government, and it doesn't go smoothly. But first, she has to take care of the Herald, and that was quick. Now, the Herald was strong, don't get me wrong. As the world watched, Diana did battle with her lasso. But this wasn't the lasso of truth, nah. This lasso cuts. This lasso burns. She told the Herald, leave this place, and it said, nah, my kids will handle you. She defended herself against the kids and said, oh, you don't want to listen, do you? All right, here. Tying the Nemesis around the monster's neck like a dog, she let him know, Nemesis ain't no joke, son. This rope is the rope of punishment. It punishes and burns the worse your crimes. And the fact that it's ripping you about like butter means you have done some serious crimes. You will retreat. You could literally see the Herald begging, please release me. She looked at him and made the demands. You will leave this place and not come back in a long time because these shores are protected by me. And he said, okay. So she released him and he took his forces and they left. But she knew this was not over. She stayed to watch as the last of them left. And from the smoke, someone she knew stepped forth. It was Steve. In every universe with Diana, there is always a Steve Trevor. Even in this world, she met him in hell. This dude died. Even with that, their paths were still destined to cross. She couldn't just leave him on the shores of hell. Nah, she decided to heal him as best as she could. But she was so focused on his face, she forgot the Kraken was here. It pulled Steve directly below the surface, and Diana couldn't just watch. She said, nah, bring him back. She dived headfirst, chasing after him, and saved his life. But when she brought him home, even Cersei was confused. What the hell have you done? What the hell, Diana? She explained that she saw the Hydra pull him beneath the surface, and she couldn't just let that happen. He doesn't belong to her. And her mother was confused. So what? Does he belong to you? And she fell silent. The goal was just to allow him heal and let him free on his way. So they waited for him to recover. And when he woke up, they let him know, you are in hell. He was so confused. I'm dead? Bruh. He needed a moment. He was freaking out. So Diana gave it to him. She always had a kind heart. She was always patient. He needed his time to grieve his former life, and she gave it to him. When he was ready, he introduced himself to the family and asked Diana if she could walk with him. To the surprise of no one, she agreed, and they bonded. She realized that this man was actually a good man. She showed him where he landed. He couldn't see the Hydra, but she could. He even made a comment that you're very tall. She said, bruh, I'm your height. But he also answered, bruh, I am very tall. She wanted to know about the outside world, but honestly, he couldn't talk right now. He lived a good life. Why was he sent to hell? Even Diana was curious. I don't know. Something is very weird with this place. And that is how their friendship started. Returned to the present, they were happy to see each other. You look good in your little uniform. And he said, what are you doing here? And she said, saving the world as always. He replied, well, that's good. My superiors would like to see you. Do you have a moment? And she gave it, only to be greeted by a short, misogynistic prick. But Diana didn't give a damn. Game recognized game, and he wasn't game at all. So she made it clear, are you done? And turned to the real meeting, letting everyone know that they should leave. That monster was just a harbinger. The real threat was coming. The general heard this and thought to take control of the room again. He even tried to lash out at Steve Trevor. You, don't let me court-martial you. Follow my orders. And this upset Diana, because who the fuck are you talking to? That's my boy. Listen, you smurf. You may need me, but I sure as shit don't need you. Watch how you talk to me. Watch how you talk to Steve. Now, if you excuse me, I have to feed my horse. Everyone was curious as to what the horse, or rather an undead horse, eats. And she explained, magic. And normally, as we know, Steve was never going to let her come outside alone. So she followed, introducing himself to the horse. The horse was the original Pegasus, the son of Medusa, and killed by Zeus. He apologized for the general, and Diana said it's fine. He just has to be prepared for the others. Steve was like the others, and Diana looked at him pretty as hell and said, bruh, there are definitely going to be other heroes. And at that moment, she felt it, a scream very terrifying. It wasn't even loud. It was just a scream of terror. She screamed for Steve to cover his ears, and he listened, because all around him, people were dropping. What is this? And she explained, oh my God, we are not prepared for what comes next. And we see what comes next. Jesus Christ. The other monster was big, but this thing was colossal in size. The general ran out with all of his might. What do we do? And she said, bruh, I will fight it, of course, but you have to clear the city. He replied, I thought you said we have an hour. And she said, yo, this thing leaves nothing behind. I will definitely die, but you guys will definitely die if I don't definitely die. So get the hell out of here.